So we continue with the seventh psalm, the seventh capital of Tehillim, Shigayon LeDavid, Asher Shar LaDonai al Divrei Kush ben Yemini. So a Shigayon of David. What does this mean? Shigayon, is this also some sort of musical instrument, some sort of arrangement? I don't know. I can't tell you. There are commentaries who say it means like the word like a mistake. Shigayon in Hebrew is a mistake, and they say it's a mistake because they say that when David is referring to who's Cush ben Yemini, somebody from the tribe of Binyamin. So there's one explanation that it's referring to Shaul. It's referring to Saul, who was David's father-in-law, who of course wanted to kill David when he had the belief that David would be succeeding him as king rather than his son Avshalom. You'll see there's certain reasons why to read the psalm in that way. There are others who say, no, this Cush is the person who sang the song, and it has nothing to do with a mistake. It's just some sort of musical note, again, some sort of way that it was played, or with the instruments, or was played quickly, or again, one of these phrases that we don't know. And so it's nice, different levels of interpretation. Okay, let's see what happens in the psalm. Adonai Elohai b'cha chasiti Hoshi'eni mikol rodfai v'hatzilein. So God, I trust you. My trust is put in you. Save me from all those who pursue me. Deliver me from all those who are coming after me. Pen yitrof ka'aryeh nafshi, horek v'ein matzil. Lest I'm torn apart like a lion. So here, the word nafshi doesn't mean a soul. The word soul, I don't think it really means a soul. It means a person. It is really what it means. It means my body, right? Lest I end up like pieces where there's nothing, nobody can help me, right? If I'm ripped apart, a lion rips me apart, you can't put me back together like Humpty Dumpty. So he's asking God in verses 2 and 3, he's asking God to deliver him, to help him from this person, from this entity who's trying to kill him. Adonai Elohai masiti zot im yesh avel b'chapai. And here we have the second part. Here's David. Here's the Mishorer is saying, if I'm guilty, I'll pay the price. If I've done this, right? If I've sinned, okay, I'm willing to I did the crime, I'll do the time. Im gamalti, verse 5, shomi ra va'achalza tzori come. If I've done evil to him, then okay. If I've caused my enemy to if I've stripped him of something, if I've made him rake, if I've made him empty, then okay, then that's what's going to happen to me, is that I am going to suffer. And I'm okay with suffering for that reason. The same, Yirdof Oyev, we're in 6, Nafshi v'yasheg v'yirmos la'aretz chayai, uchvodi la'afar yishkon sela. Let my enemy pursue me, let him overtake me, let him, to put me down, take my life from this earth, lay my honor in the dust. Sela, again, Sela, one of these phrases, doesn't mean forever, as some say. It's a musical notation. It's the end of this section of the psalm, where David says, if I did anything wrong, then so be it. I'll pay the price. I'm okay. And we know that about King David. David is one who's willing to admit his mistakes. He makes terrible mistakes in his life. Presumably that's not what this is referring to with Bathsheba. And Uriah sleeps with this married woman when he's overcome with lust, has her husband killed. And he admits to his mistake when he's confronted by Natan the prophet. And Natan the prophet says, Ataha ish, you're the sinner. He takes it. He says, okay, I'll take my punishment. So be it. And so here David says a similar thing. Presumably that's not what it's talking about here, but nevertheless. Continuing in verse 7. Now he turns to God. Kuma Adonai ba'apecha hinasei ba'ovrot sorarai v'ura elai mishpat tzivita. So God, get up, rise up in your anger. Right? Let your wrath that's provoked by my enemies arouse for me the judgment that you have decreed. Right? Asking God, I haven't done anything wrong. If I haven't, then come and fight the battle for me. Come, God, help me out. That is what he is asking God to do. He continues with the same thing. And then the congregation of people will surround you and it will return to you. It's asking God again to help him. The congregation will once again be with you. This is an interesting verse. What it's doing here, David is talking about something that's personal, and this sounds a lot like what was said by Moshe Rabbeinu right? We are talking about the congregation with the people surrounded and returning. It doesn't sound like what's going on here in the psalm, but okay. Continuing verse 9. Adonai yadin amim shifateni Adonai tzidki uchetumi alai. So God will judge his people. So judge me, God. Judge me according to my righteousness and according to my integrity. As the word tom means to be complete. Right? He's saying again. He said, "I don't think I've done anything wrong. So judge me. Okay, I think that I haven't done anything wrong. Bring me to court, and let's see what happens." Yigmar na ra rishaim utchonen tzadik uvochein libot uklayot Elohim tzadik. Right? Let's put an end to Gomer. Let's put an end to the evil of the wicked. And let's establish righteousness. Search through me, God. Look in my heart. Look in my intestines. You'll see that God. You'll see when you judge that I am being righteous. I haven't done anything wrong. And he believes that God will, as he continues the next few verses, judge him properly. Magini al Elohim Moshiach Yishrei Lev. My defense is in you, God. You are my magain. You are my shield. You are the one who keeps upright the hearts of the righteous. I trust you, God. I don't think I've done anything wrong. I trust you. So judge me properly. Elohim, we're in Yud Bet. Shofet Tzadik V'el Zo'ein B'chol Yom. God judges righteously, but God also rages every day. God knows how to take care of the enemy, how to take care of the evil. And David has already said, if I'm the evil one, then let me get my punishment. But if not, and I don't think I've done anything wrong, when you search through, you'll see the righteousness. I believe in your justice. It's not the book of Iyov. We haven't gotten there yet, which questions God's running of the world and whether God is just or not. David believes in God's justice, and David says, judge me. We'll see what happens. Continue verse 13 again. If he doesn't repent and he sharpens his sword, he bends his bow and and makes it ready. Right? The wicked man is not going to return from evil. The wicked man is going to get his bow ready. He's ready to attack. I am not that wicked man. I haven't done anything wrong. You're going to judge me, God, and you're going to see in my judgment that I'm going to be okay, as opposed to the wicked man is doing just the opposite. Right? The wicked man is kind of like the best way for me to describe it to me. I understand this verse like Haman. Haman goes and he gets the gallows for Mordechai. Right? He prepares the instruments for death. But of course, we know that Haman is, of course, hanged on those very gallows. This is a person, this is an enemy, this is a wicked man. He's preparing for the destruction of his enemy. We'll call him David in this chapter. He has the instrument of death ready. He's got his arrows, he's got his missiles, he's got everything. But of course, that's going to cause his own death. We're in 15. He conceives iniquity. The word chavel, we talk about in the Hebrew, there's a term chevle leda, that means the pangs of childbirth. It's the same word here. Michabel is a terrorist also. This is not referring to the pangs at the end of labor. Usually that's understood as being something that's causes pain, but ultimately, it's for good reason. Woman goes through difficult labor pains, but ultimately, not long after that, has a child. This is talking about earlier in this image of conceiving. But this is a person who is conceiving iniquity, of something that's sinful, and he carries mischief, and he brings forth falsehood. And you see there a lot hara in that same verse 15. Hara is like herayon is a pregnancy, yalad is a birth. So it's using the ideas of pregnancy, but not pregnancy to bring a nice child into this earth, about conceiving and impregnating and bringing to this earth evil, somebody who plots and plans and goes through a whole long strategy in order to bring something evil into this world. These are the enemies of David. Bor kara vayachperehu vayipol bashachat yif'al. He's dug a pit, he hollowed it out, but he's fallen into the pit that he has made. Again, coming back to this idea, the opposite, Haman, who gets these gallows ready for Mordechai. and has hanged himself on these gallows. This is a person who conceives, works hard for this plot to destroy, but the person themselves falls into the trap. So any of ours falls in. And why? Because I know I didn't do anything wrong. I am innocent. I am not guilty. And God, you judge me properly. And therefore, the person, my enemy who prepared to destroy me, his bomb exploded in his home as opposed to exploding while he was making it in my home, if you want to put it as such. Continuing with verse 17, Yashuv amalo v'rosho, v'al kadkado samoso yere. What we said, right? His mischief, his evil will return upon his head. It will boomerang back to him. His crime will come down upon his own face. Oda Adonai kitzitko, va'azamra shem Adonai elyon. I will thank God in accordance with God's righteousness, and I will sing the praises of the Lord Most High, of the God who is Elyon. So here we see somebody who wants to punish David, who wants to punish the Mishorer, wants to punish the author of this chapter of Tehillim, but his plots, his plans are not going to cause the death of David. They're not going to cause the death of his enemy. They're going to cause his own death. They're going to cause his own destruction. So whether we understand it in different ways, we said, is it written about Shaul, who chased after David? Is it written about, there are those who say it's not Shaul himself, but it's somebody else, somebody named Shimi ben Gera, who came out to curse David when David was when there was the coup and the rebellion of Avshalom, and David had to leave Jerusalem on his way. Shimi ben Gera was who was a relative of Shaul, and therefore also from the tribe of Binyamin, that he curses David, but those curses come back in a sense to curse him. Ultimately, however we want to understand it biographically, this is another psalm of somebody who feels a sense of desperation, the sense of people coming after him. And in some ways, this is a psalm written for today, right? Israel was attacked, and, it took maybe 48 hours afterwards till the enemies put everything upon the Jews and upon Israel, that we are always the ones who do everything wrong. I'm not saying that the Israeli government, the Israeli people, the state doesn't make any mistakes. It's hard when you have bad neighbors around you. It's easy when your neighbors, all they want to do is come to your country and mow lawns. It's a little harder when you're in a bad neighborhood, but it's, judge us based upon where we are and understand us that way. And ultimately we'll find out. David says, I've done nothing wrong. I am correct. Bring me to the court. I trust in you, God. My enemies who are plotting, their evil plans will blow up in their face, because I know that I am innocent. And thus it's a psalm, whether it's about this episode in David's life or not. It's one that, of course, has relevance to at some point in somebody's life. It has relevance to every man at some point and every woman at some point in their lives.